Hello, hello. How is everyone? I am so excited to talk to you about a project that I want to start doing. And I so hope you will go on this journey with me. So I love to art journal, as you've probably noticed, and that includes mixed media stuff and just I like it because one, it's some mixed media, two, it's very artistic, and three, it doesn't have to be a masterpiece, right? We don't have to create fabulous art. It just needs to be whatever we're thinking or feeling or whatever at the time. So I love art journaling. But what often happens is you sit down and you grab your book, and you're like, what do I do? By the way, if you saw my video yesterday, you'll see where I added tea, and I said I would let you see what happens to it. There's what happens to it. It's actually quite cute. But I now have tea everywhere. Anyway, so often what happens is you open your book and you're like, what do I do? So there are some cards that you can buy out in the world somewhere. And by all means, I support those artists. One of these days, I may even have a set that I am selling myself. But for this day, we are going to make our own cards. We're going to make our own prompts. And we're not going to get them all done today. This is going to be a series of fairly short videos. This is just the introductory video, so it may be a little longer than some of the others. But they're all going to be relatively short videos because we are going to create a card, a prompt card, and we will be making a bunch of these, like a bunch. So we're going to call them art journaling prompt cards because I'm not creative today on coming up with the name and didn't even think about it till just now. But maybe we could come up with something clever. If you have any ideas of what we could call these inspiration cards, please feel free to drop a comment down below and let me know, because it would be so much more fun to have a cool name, right? A cool name. So the cards will be divided into two categories, and we're going to start off with category one, and we're going to make quite a few in category one first before we ever get to category two. But category one will be materials and tools. So what do I mean by materials and tools? I have a card right here that I made, one. Obviously, this one's already made, but it's called water soluble. And what I mean by that is I mean things like this that are water soluble. And here's another one. And here is another one. All of these things are water soluble. Crayons, watercolors, I don't know where my brain is, like acrylic paint, inks, all of those things are water soluble. So this prompt is to bring in something water soluble. Now I happen to love water soluble pencils. They're one of my favorites. We're also probably going to have a prompt that says watercolor, but this one will allow you to take your pick of whatever kind of water soluble tool or material that you want. So that's one thing, like a water soluble, that's a tool or material. The other thing, like in the tools and materials category, would be like specific things on papers, like transparency, right? Transparent paper might be a piece of a tea bag. It might be a piece of vellum or tracing paper. Another tool or material might say music paper, or it might say a dictionary page. So if you were to pull a prompt card that said dictionary page, you just get out a piece of dictionary page and you use it. If you don't have dictionary page, you can pick any other kind of piece of paper you want. These are just here to help you. And if you don't have a material, for example, if you don't have any music paper, there are a variety of ways you can get them, but let's just say that's not your cup of tea. You don't ever want to use it. Don't make the card. It's simple. Or, make the card and pull it out and don't use it until you do decide you want music paper. Okay, so that's the project, is we're going to make a bunch of these. I mean, a bunch of them. I eventually as in not too long from now, we'll have a downloadable prompt list for you, so you can make these at your own pace if you want to use the way I do it. But I don't have that available yet because I'm trying to decide what order we're going to do these in. I have a bunch. I just don't know what order we're going to do them in. So what do you need? What are you going to need to do this with me? You need a piece of cardstock. This is actually pretty thin cardstock, so what I did on this one, it's the same thing, you can see, is I doubled it up. I actually made 2 because I want it to be a little stiffer. I don't want it to be too flimsy. By the way, this is an ATC size, which is artist trading card, which is 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So you want 2.5 by 3.5. You know what else happens to be 2.5 by 3.5? Playing cards. And these make great bases. They're nice and you know, they're stiff enough but still flexible. By the time you collage on them, they'll thicken up a little bit. So this is a great thing. Grab a cheap dollar store pack of cards and let's make some of these. Another thing is cards or things that you get in the mail. Like this right here is really nice. It's nice and firm, and it's a piece of junk mail. This was a lovely card that has a super cute puppy dog on it. Yeah, this is from the Humane Society, so I could take this card and cut this into 2.5 by 3.5. And this right here was a greeting card sent to me by a dear, dear friend of mine. Her name is Hazard. And again, Hazard, thank you so much. I'm sorry I still haven't texted you to tell you how wonderful this is. But I could take this card, and I'm not going to open it up because I don't remember what she said on the inside. But I could take this card. I'm not going to. I'm going to use it for something different. But I could do 2.5 by 3.5. I could cut out 2.5 by 3.5 right there. And I could do another, not quite, maybe right there. So I could get like 4 out of this one card. I'm not going to, but I could. And like this one right here, I could get 1, 2, I could get 4 out of this card too, because I get 2 on this side and 2 on this side. So yeah, I could get at least that, right? So super easy, super cheap. So what else do you need? You need scissors and you need glue. And anything else you use will be based on the prompts. So you need some kind of base, scissors and glue, and whatever prompts you want to do, you need whatever supplies those are. It is really that simple. We're going to make one today. So let's get started. What do you think? Okay. The prompt, did I tell you everything I wanted to say? I believe so. Okay, let's carry on. I am so sorry about that weird shadow that's coming from the thing that's holding my phone. At any rate, so today's prompt is going to be layers. Now, I'm going to go and use this card just because, you know, I probably shouldn't, because it's better really if you can use a little sandpaper on this, and I don't happen to have any handy. So I think I will, what will I do? I'm going to cut a 2.5 by 3.5 out of this piece of paper, out of this junk mail. Well, see, that's kind of glossy too. Look at me. What do I think? Yeah, let's do it out of this. You know what? I can't make up my mind. We're gonna do this. It's a card. Actually, it's one of the bonus cards in a pack. So we're gonna do this. So let's start off with getting a little, oh, you know, I now should probably turn this over so we can get the dirty side of this. Isn't this glorious? All dirty. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit of my brand new bottle of matte gel medium, which Y'all, this is lovely, isn't it? Okay. Little matte gel medium. Why do I love this? Because it works better than just about anything else in the whole world. I love it. Okay. I really do need to get some prettier, cleaner water. I'm just going to cover the whole thing with the matte gel medium. Actually, you know, if I'd have covered it with gesso, that would have given it a lot more tooth. But I didn't think about that, so it's okay. So what am I going to start off with? We're just going to grab... We're going to grab whatever. The whole thing about this is layers. So I want to demonstrate on this card what layers look like. Let's see what I have laying on my desk left over from all the things that I've done. How about that? Yep. I'm going to put that right there. Put a little more matte medium on top of that. Let's see what else I can find over here. I have all kinds of things. So a friend of mine brought some paper back from Japan for me. So I am trying not to be super precious with it, but you know how that goes. And I'm not worrying about the borders right now because I can always clean those up. But I do think I need a little color. Wouldn't that be nice? And I happen to have some right here. So, do I need that much? Maybe just one. Well, I hope you will join me on this journey of creativity. I have always, see, I want to cover up that card there, but I'm kind of liking that. I've always wanted, you know, some of those cards that would give me prompts. It isn't that I lack the idea for prompts, it's that when you sit down to do this, you're like, I don't know. And I'm just adding a little bit of that, whatever that is. Yeah, kind of like that. And let's see what else I can bring in here. I have a little piece of pattern paper. That's kind of cool. So I have a lot of layers on here now. Look at that. Little things peeking out here and there. Okay. I think I can tell by looking at this that it has a lot of layers. So now let's get our little thing here. And add just a little bit more of that matte medium. There we go. Layers. And I will clean all of that up once this dries. I don't want to get all the sticky on my on my scissors. But now I have another card called Layers, and then I have this one. It says water soluble. And before you know it, we're going to have a whole host of these cards. So anyway, as I was saying, that I got distracted because I was like, oh, look, this looks like fun. Is that I've always wanted one of those decks of cards, but for one reason or another, I've never gotten around to purchasing one. So I was like, why don't I just make one for myself, you know? So I've been collecting ideas for a long time, and finally got it sorted out and made some sense in my head on how to divide them up, you know, how to sort out tools and materials versus, you know, ideas or inspiration or concepts, you know. So I think that's probably one of the better ways of doing it. Anyway, I hope you will join me on this journey, and we will have a lot of these. They will be shorter than this because we're just going to make one card per video. Okay? Well, let me know what you think. Please add your comments below and subscribe and do all of those good things, you know. And I'll see you soon. Bye.